You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh my God!
I was waiting for the sound, and there it is. Hello, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV and the Survivor finale episode.
Yeah!
That's
Hallelujah.
right. This is the last time the three of us are going to be in the same room for a very long time.
Oh, 2 months.
Thank God.
I need a break from you guys. You're too much.
You just had a month break from me, and you need another break.
I'm seeing you guys way too much.
How many times did you show up this season?
Listen,
You guys are crazy. No, I took 3 shows off.
3?
Yes, because I was traveling and making my own Survivor adventure.
All the fans think you were taping.
Oh,
Survivor.
I wish. So where did all those photos on my Instagram come from?
No,
My twin. I sent my twin out.
No, he's on Survivor popped collar.
Oh my God. This is out of control, you guys.
Oh my God, I'm starting to sweat.
Popped collar.
I think that's a great category, actually.
That's a great one, right?
Yeah.
Popped collar.
I
Yeah,
tried to
totally.
get casted on 30.
douchebags. That would have been the douchebags.
For the douchebag truck?
Tried.
Which one would you be?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't think I fit into that this season.
I know. I thought about that, which is why I'm going to talk to you later about some stuff.
All right, we'll chat later, Jerry.
Welcome back, Justin.
Thank you.
We missed the hell out of you. Let me just tell you. Without going into too many details, we really missed you.
Let me tell you, I tried to Skype in for the one episode where I was flying from.
You were going to do it on the plane?
No, I was flying from a town called Bariloche to. I was in Buenos Aires. I had a layover to get to Iguazu Falls.
Jesus.
And I was timing it so I could Skype in for the show. I emailed everyone here and but I had an amazing race delay, 2-hour delay. And I tried to get on standby flights and everything.
How funny that'd be if you're on the if you're on the plane.
That would have been none of the planes there have Wi-Fi you could buy. I would have bought Wi-Fi to do it.
Well, they never work anyway. It's
I know,
like
it's
you get
crappy.
the wheel of death on the airplane.
It is.
But I downloaded every episode on iTunes, and it took maybe 5 hours to download each episode because the internet in Argentina was
Justin,
horrible.
you're sick, man. You need help.
Sick.
No, but I had to watch it, and I watched some of your guys' shows. Couldn't watch all of it.
Gee, I wonder why.
the wheel kept spinning.
Yeah.
And I got in last night. My friend picked me up from the airport and watched Survivor at 1 a.m. and went to bed at 3 a.m. and here I am.
3 hours is a long time.
Yeah. So, overall,
yes.
in one word, sum up what you thought about the finale.
I don't know if one word, but go ahead.
Blah.
Oh.
I loved it.
Really?
I always love the finale.
I do love the finale.
I
love
it's
this-
predictable.
Yeah,
Well,
that's there
it
you go.
became very
Yeah.
predictable, but
Yes.
I'd also
Yeah.
say that I love the packages they do in the very beginning and the end. It just makes it seem like such a big deal.
I love it, yeah.
And I love that actually Jeff was interacting on all the commercial breaks. I thought it was funny, and I was entertained by it at least. I was into it.
I love Jeff Probst.
You weren't into it.
Not into it.
It was a way of them trying to keep the audience the whole time.
It to me felt like the Jeff Probst talk show coming back or something.
It did kind of feel
and
like
it just
that.
was like, what is all this? This is too much. It took me out of the finale. I personally miss when they do the walk of fame, not the fame, but I like that.
I would way prefer Jeff talking.
I like the
And with
fallen
fans.
comrades.
No.
I cannot stand it, and I'm glad I got to experience it as a person walking the Fall of
See?
Comrades. But watching it is like
Okay,
poke
fine.
my eyes out.
All
with
I have to say
forks.
though is I just thought it was too much in the finale, like having all those live interactions, and for some reason the whole finale episode from start to finish, I just feel like I love Jeff. I love him, but there was so much Jeff. Like the show has gone so much more Jeff hypersensitive.
But that's what happens when you
He's the
produce
producer.
it.
No, I know, but
Let's
it's
make a promise, though. Let's
crazy.
make a promise, though. Before all of us leave our final AfterBuzz, which maybe sooner than later, we need to do a fallen comrade of the Christine Shaw, the AJ Gibson.
Yes.
all along the
Oh
way
my
of
God.
will walk out the front door just to make you happy.
Thank you.
That would actually be really fun.
Well, and here's one thing. This is one thing.
Although
like,
I think I mentioned everybody.
This is one thing that I thought for the last couple weeks, it's been so obvious that Natalie is just walking away with it.
Right.
The one moment, though, in the finale that I was like, oh, maybe Jacqueline could win was when Jeff brought the rice to that girl. She was sitting in the front row, and behind her said Jacqueline's family. So usually they put the winner's family.
Right.
Don't they put the winner? No, they don't?
Because they put my family in the front when I was on Heroes and Villains, and then after I got voted out, then they moved everyone back 3 rows.
Yeah.
So I saw that.
Which is really tacky, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you have to ask all your friends and family, okay, you guys, now you know your daughter and your friend didn't win, so you're going to have to move back 3 rows.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, well, that's the one moment where I was
Well,
like,
maybe you should have won, Jerry.
Okay, let me just say this, all right? Watching the final episode of every season is like total torture for me because it takes me back to Heroes and Villains, and I get sick inside.
Yeah.
My stomach starts hurting. I want to cry. I want to vomit. I want to stab Russell Pants in the eyes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, it just brings back so much.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
the final challenge
Everything.
and then the final tribal, and it just, it's
crazy.
It's really hard for me to watch. And my husband last night was just like, it still bothers you.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
probably will the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I didn't do
Maybe.
Survivor,
Unless
but
I
like
win.
I was feeling the same way.
You will.
I was having like flashbacks too. I was feeling uncomfortable. I was just like, it was weird.
Those are hot flashes.
I was having hot flashes because I'm so old. I'm so gosh dang old.
I do have to say, though, watching the last 3 weeks and leading up to this, like, Natalie deserved to win last night.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, like, coming into the season, I was so against the Twinnies because of just, like, I'm a twin.
Everybody was against them.
And the Amazing
You
Race.
hate twins.
And I hate when people get 3 chances to play the game, or play CBS reality shows. And if those twins get on another CBS reality show, I'm going to be pissed. If they show up on Big Brother or whatever.
On Big Brother this summer.
Give me a break.
That'll be Nadia by herself.
She deserved to win. I mean, she made the big moves. She killed it.
Right. And one thing I really liked about what happened last night was at some point Jeff addressed the jury and he said, okay, just out of curiosity, now, I've noticed he's been doing this more often in finales. If Jacqueline, if you had taken Keith to the end instead of Natalie, who would have voted for Keith? Like, let's figure out if then Keith would have won.
Yeah.
Because my immediate reaction is, Jacqueline, you just gave away $1 million. But
no.
then the votes ended up being 4 for Keith, and then 1 for.
But here's the thing, though,
Missy.
Jerry.
Hold on, and then there was only 1. There was a vote missing or something, so we never really got an answer.
It's because Josh was like, I don't know, maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't. Here's the thing: you've been to final tribal councils.
Yeah.
After watching a whole season and being removed from it for how many months?
Your mind is different.
It's totally a different scenario.
is.
So when
It's not fair.
when Jeff says those,
I wouldn't vote any differently.
I know. I just feel like. But here's the
You
thing.
may not, but I guarantee you the emotions everyone because you get into behind the scenes thing that you're not supposed to know as a juror. And so it's not.
And here's why
really
I
a
think
fair
here's why I
question.
think Jacqueline could have beaten Keith and Missy. Jacqueline versus Natalie. Natalie had more strategic moves.
Yeah.
Jacqueline versus Missy and Keith, she is the most strategic player in the game.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
she
'Cause
made
Keith didn't know how to play.
squat. His only argument would have been, I won challenges.
Yeah.
And in the end, I
And
think
he's a nice guy.
if Jacqueline could have just kept, out of these players, made the most strategic decisions. I got Josh out every move of the whole game. My boyfriend and I were in the middle making every decision. These guys didn't. I made it.
Right.
I feel like she could have won.
Had a better chance.
Better chance.
She could have even
Absolutely.
said, well, first of all, her speech was terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
awful.
Yeah.
And actually, all of them were not good.
No, they
to be
were
honest with you.
all awful.
And all the jurors minus Reed's Reed, which we have to talk about
It was
later.
a boring jury.
Terrible. That was all bad.
Horrible jury.
They didn't even ask
It was
questions.
boring.
But I would have said Jacqueline even this time because in the very beginning when they were sort of going after Natalie, or that's how the editing was, that it seemed like, oh, well, maybe Jacqueline has a chance. I was
Yeah.
sort of thinking maybe they are
Yeah.
bitter with her. And if Jacqueline would have just said, take John out of the equation and just said, I did this,
Yes,
and
yes.
this, and John shouldn't have come up and asked such a hard question to her.
Yeah, that was. He
What?
should have set her
How
up.
weird! I
was-
felt
I was like,
like
what
he
are you
was trying to
trying
convince everyone not
It
to
was
vote
so
for her.
weird.
It was weird, and
It didn't make sense.
Didn't make sense.
Baylor did the exact thing you're supposed to do in that
Yes.
sort of situation.
And Jeremy for Natalie.
Right, but
yeah.
my whole point is that she could have literally said, I did this, I switched tribes, I did this, and said it in a more way
Yeah,
that
she
made
just
her more of a gamer.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, Jacqueline, and I said this during the last show, from the start has always been right about her instincts with every single thing.
Yes.
She does not follow
She didn't
through.
follow.
But the whole thing, when we had John on the show, I said the exact same thing. I'm like, she was right about everything.
Even talking to Missy about Natalie.
Exactly. She was right. And he even said, what would John have you do?
Vote out Natalie.
Right.
And like, she just has trouble listening to her inner voice, but her instincts, if she would just come back and play and follow her instincts,
right.
she's on point with everything.
Okay, Jacqueline, just take that to heart, please, because, you know, watching you with John was, you know, stop with the kissing in public, PDA, but whatever, that's a whole nother thing.
I want to see him have sex.
Jesus, God almighty.
They're both super tall, too. I love them.
She is so tall.
They're both gorgeous and super tall.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Jacqueline.
I have pictures.
Don't look to John for the answer. You already have it. Believe in yourself,
Her gut
girl.
the entire season was right on.
If she had gotten rid of Natalie that night, and even Natalie was like, if they were really playing,
they would have gotten rid of me.
Jeff summed it up when Jeff said, I think your biggest move of the game was convincing them to keep you.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously lost their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely the worst decision ever, and it did cost her $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Keith had a lot of
I think she had a
guys in
shot
the jury.
against Keith. I think she had a shot.
I think so too. But I mean, I understand why Natalie threw the the whole jury is a bunch of dudes, and you know
she was smart.
Right.
It was, you know, because she's not really that intimidating how she talks. She sort of has her. She's a little abrasive when she talks, but she's not intimidating.
She's direct.
I think her sister is more abrasive.
Her tone is very much like you could be offended by her, but it's not like you don't feel threatened by her.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
No, I just think she's just very direct, and she's very smart, and she's always strategic.
Yeah.
And she made the right moves at the right times, and she.
Can we talk about her idol play, for God's sake?
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Yes. Okay, tribal council.
Screaming at the TV.
Yeah.
We're clearly out of order. We always do this in the finale.
Most people didn't even know that Natalie had the idol, which was already awesome.
Yeah.
And then she sits down and she's like literally saying to herself, am I going to play it for myself? Am I going to save Jacqueline?
It's amazing.
Yeah. And she ends up saying in a blackout state.
Oh my gosh. Every time she made a big move, she blacked out.
I can understand that.
I totally can understand that.
Oh my. That must have been like an outer body experience. Here you are with
outer body. Out of body.
Outer. What did I say?
Outer space.
Sorry. Out of body. Whatever.
He's out of outer
blood
body.
versus water.
Exhausted.
Blood versus water.
No.
Popped collar.
Jesus God.
Sorry, I'm no collar. I'm free spirited, baby.
Oh my God.
I lost my train of thought.
How much were those three people plants too? Let's just talk about that.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. You liked all that dumb ass.
That was at the end. I'm talking about the banter in the first
the white
2 hour
collar,
episode.
the blue collar.
No,
or by chance, come on up here. Oh, we have an attorney.
No, and the people that were in, like, when they had the group of fans, I was like, give me, this is just.
Oh, that was bad.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. But back
to the first tribal and Natalie playing the idol for Jacqueline.
Yes. Out of body experience. Out of body experience, because here she is. She keeps making move after move after move, and she was like, I need to just make another move to give myself another argument to win.
Another check by
my name, and that's exactly what she did. And then there was no big fallout. Like, even Missy was like, it's a game, I get it. You know, Baylor, it's a game, I get it.
No, that was the best move ever, and everyone that was left was so respectful of the fact that Natalie made a great move. Even Baylor, when she left, she was like,
immediately.
That was a great move, you know? And I can't really find any other time in Survivor history where everyone was in agreement. Like, oh yeah, cool.
It's a great move.
It sucks, but it was a great move.
What she said that I thought was really brilliant and smart is Natalie. She's just so strategic. What she said, she was like, if I go to the end with Missy and Baylor, then that gives Missy the argument to win, that I was the only one to get my loved one and basically my daughter and my pair here.
I don't think that would have been a good
No, but it would have helped Missy. It would have helped Missy.
It's something to say.
It's something to give Missy.
Whether it really works or not.
You take that away from Missy. Missy, in the end, she had a good, I think, beginning game, and she just fizzled out.
Right.
You know, she fizzled out.
Can't play any challenges. It's like...
And strategically, I hate when people make the argument of, at the final jury and tribal council, my game is all about integrity and being true to my word. No.
I'm so sick of that.
You backstabbed Jeremy, who you had an alliance with. You backstabbed John.
Yep.
Don't base your game on integrity and loyalty when you didn't do that. if you want credit, say, I pretended to play with integrity, but I actually didn't. That was my game. Then you have more respect.
You know what? Speaking about Missy, like this whole Reed thing where he comes at her with the story of Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty or whatever Disney thing he was equating to her. I don't feel like we really got to see the evil stepmother side. Did you? Did I miss something? Because I was like, why does everyone agree that she's evil? I didn't see that at all.
I like he summed at the end. He was talking about her specifically playing in the game, which I understand.
Which is fine.
But it's also an over-dramatized. I mean, it already is overly dramatic talking about, fairy princesses and everything else. So it's really not literal. So you can't take it, she's this evil. No, it's just sort of like a metaphor for how she really played the game, because she really wasn't this motherly person.
Yes.
Because when you say mother and you're like you're bringing everybody cookies, everything's great, when that's really not the case.
Right. Well, this is my whole thing with Missy. I never saw a mother. All I saw was a woman who was divorced 3 times. Because you know what, we should have turned that into a drinking game.
You'd be wasted.
When you hear I've been divorced 3 times, you have to drink, and you'd be wasted in every episode. Because it was so ridiculous. At the end, I was like, okay, shut up about being divorced 3 times. Because you know what? She's all upset that was the way she was introduced to the world, and now she feels free because she doesn't have to hide it anymore.
Right.
Well, you know what? If you don't want people to know that about you, you probably shouldn't lead with that in your interview to get on Survivor.
There's so many other worse things in the world. I don't even understand. It's like there used to be this figure skating pairs couple in the Olympics, and they used to always introduce them as the truck driver and the waitress. I swear to God. They were like known for that forever.
Bad publicists.
And it was just, but that's what the commentators would call them. And they're like, till the day they die. And like, one of the commentators was like, this is just distracting. All I picture is her waiting tables.
And
like, I just picture her getting married, divorcing, running down the street with Baylor crying in the corner. Like, what is going on? Like, give her another title, the broken leg lady, whatever.
Well, and then even Baylor. How many times did Baylor this whole season? My mom's been divorced 3 times.
It was like,
this is like my mom and her men. My mom and her men. It's like,
it was
oh my God.
Is she a prostitute? I'm so confused.
No, because they don't get married. But I can't even. No, I'm not even gonna go there. But what I'm saying is, it just became like such a staple go-to thing in every interview and every like conversation, and I was just like, stop with the divorce. I don't care.
Yeah. Right.
That does not have any reflection on you in the game of Survivor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It only became an issue because she obviously was leading with that. So,
totally.
Right. So it's like it was on her the whole time. So I'm glad she's free and everything else.
I mean, honestly, that whole little I've been divorced 3 times is a great thing for casting. It's like, it's the story. That's her story.
Yeah, right. You know what? I bet if you go back in time, there's probably a lot of people who are on Survivor that were divorced 3, maybe more times.
Probably in the cast.
Well, I need to start getting married and divorced.
No,
it just became legal. Otherwise, it'd be a lot more for me.
It's a lot of paperwork, Justin. Just save yourself.
I keep coughing. Oh my God. Sorry.
Save yourself the money. And
Here's in general, I thought the tribal council was one of the worst, most boring tribal councils, final tribal councils I've ever watched in Survivor history. Reed was the only time where I was like, thank God someone's saying something that's entertaining.
I knew it was going to end well, but I have to say this: every time they showed. What's his name's face with his mouth open? Alex.
Oh, yeah. There's like memes about that.
And then
what's like flies buzzing around his mouth. He's just like, oh.
And then what's his name with his tongue out of it? I can't remember his name. Wes with his tongue out of his mouth.
It was annoying, right?
What are you doing?
But you know what? They probably didn't have any other shots to go to with those two because they were doing it all the time.
Talk about a drinking game.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but they lingered on those shots for a really long time. So it's not like they were trying to hide the fact that he didn't close his mouth ever.
Do you know what it was? Because they kept doing it, obviously, during the tribal. Because that tribal was so boring. They had to do something to make people laugh.
It was boring.
I'm serious. They felt like they had to do something. It was bad.
It was beyond boring.
You know what I noticed as well is when he got up to, he didn't even ask a question really. When he got up and made his comments, twice he like flipped his hair and Alec. And then even the music was like go back and watch it. I'm not kidding. It was hilarious.
It was too much.
I just thought it was the questions were soft, and it was just like, since it was so many like blood
there were
people.
No questions.
Yeah, it was just.
Well, to be honest with you, because what are you going to ask? Because
I know
Natalie deserved to win. There's nothing really to go on.
That's a very good point. Ryan.
Had we been asking, we would have asked something just because we're like, oh, we want a good sound bite. You know what I mean?
Here's what I want to ask.
Jacqueline could have brought it home more, and she didn't.
Here's what I want to ask, and this is kind of like a controversial thing for me because Missy hurts her foot. We already talked about how she stayed in the game where normally I think she probably would have been pulled.
You think?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you can't perform, you can't even walk on it. But it went so far as like now she had a cast, an actual cast on her foot, and the art department made her freaking crutches.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I thought they made that themselves.
No, are you please? They were perfectly symmetrical and
colors on them.
awesome crutches, and I was like, okay, I think that might have gone a little too far with the playing.
So you
favorites.
don't think they should have kept her, let her stay in the game?
No.
So then looking back too, because obviously that clue that they gave Keith to sort of practice was like a little over the top, too much.
Oh my gosh.
So they
What do you mean, the clue itself?
Yes, they wanted Keith to win immunity.
Well, because let's talk about
The advantage
Let's
in
just
the
take
reward
Abby's
challenge.
season. Remember Abby? She just got to skip one thing. So it
Yes.
still was like she had to like work her butt off to make it there. This was like
Agreed.
you get to practice all night long. They could have given. They probably had a bunch of different clues. They could have given out one which was like,
Or
learn to do this and like
Yes.
some sort of thing. This was like practice the challenge for hours.
Exact challenge. That
How is that even
requires
like make sense or fair?
so much
That's bad.
Here's okay. You want to talk about Big Brother? What they do on Big Brother that I think is more fair than what we saw last night was here's that whole challenge, right? Give Keith one little part of it to practice,
Right.
not the entire thing where
Right.
he
Give him the
demolished
paddle.
it because that challenge was nearly
Hard.
impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just really, really unfair. So casting clearly wanted
Keith in
him
there.
to make it to the end.
Well,
But like,
he's so entertaining. I mean, he couldn't really play the game very well, but he was fun to watch.
Mm.
And I mean, I think several times he made us laugh when we were all kind of going to sleep
I
a
want to
little
spit
bit.
right here, but I can't. In honor
And
of
how
Keith.
cute was his wife?
oh my gosh.
She was cute.
I mean, I bet they are a hoot to be around
yeah.
and, hanging out, having some spiked
Well,
iced
you should have been
tea.
there on Tuesday. They all were drinking, having a good old time.
Oh, damn it.
Well,
I
it's-
need to
Jerry
get
never
up.
supports my parties.
I just, I'm a married woman now. I don't go out
Well,
very
get
much.
divorced 3 times and then have fun.
Well, just for the record, if this one doesn't last, it will be my third.
Oh, you've been married twice before?
Yes, and I will tell you this.
Oh, I didn't know this.
I will not go on a show saying, guess what? I've been divorced 3 times. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not getting
Whoa.
divorced, but I'm just saying.
Steven, can you go ahead
I
and
know
change?
that.
Steven, can you change Jerry's lower third to twice divorce?
Yeah. Our
3 times
host
Survivor
is
contestant.
two-time
already had that.
divorcee.
Thank you. Thank you. Hashtag at 2 times going on 3. Thanks.
No, there will not be a third. But, yeah. I don't know how to take that. Are you egging me on to get
she's
divorced?
good.
Well,
Oh.
That's like Price is Right
yeah.
style.
Total
Well, they could do
Price is
Survivor's
Right.
Divorce Court Edition. All divorced people are invited. That'd be everybody.
Well, that's my whole point. Is it's just not.
Yeah.
If you're so scared about people knowing that, don't
She clearly
lead with
wasn't.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious that when when they came back after Keith won that challenge and Natalie said something like, well, you are good with balls, Keith. It was like, I don't know, it felt like it was a joke that not a lot of people acknowledged, but I sat there and I laughed for at least
Cracking
a couple
up.
seconds.
Do you know what else was like really boring to me too? Was
See, I wonder why we never get invited to the finale
I know.
anymore.
Listen,
I love the show still.
Listen, if CBS does not go on Twitter and see the comments from fans, this is why you like. This is what makes the show so great. Of course, you're going to criticize it. Not everything's going to be perfect because it's reality. There's always you're supposed to love it, hate it, and
Yeah.
everything else.
The
Just
yin and the yang, people.
Right. Have
We
you ever
love
been
it.
to a football game and everyone is screaming, that play was ridiculous? Like everyone, it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So my ridiculous play of the night
was boring?
That challenge at the very final one.
Yeah.
The immunity challenge.
Oh my God, how epic was that?
It was epic and huge, but it almost was too hard because they were so tired. It was very boring to watch because they were all just walking.
I thought it was pretty awesome to watch, actually.
Walking though.
I mean, seriously, like it was. I thought for sure Natalie had it at one point, and then Jacqueline was like
came
way
out of
in
nowhere.
the back.
Jacqueline kept falling off the pole.
That was, I mean,
thought she
Clearly,
hurt
she's not a
herself.
stripper.
that was hard to watch her going down that pole.
Yeah, she really hurt herself. I thought it was, Missy all over again.
What I give Jacqueline so much credit there is you could just physically tell that she was like done. But
Well, look at how skinny she was.
She was so skinny.
It was like
She came back from
skeleton.
exile like 10 pounds less from exile.
She was like
it was weird,
so
right?
skinny
That was
coming
all
back.
the water weight she lost crying.
Yeah, just crying, trying to light
She
that
was
fire.
thin. But I thought it was neat to watch her come back from behind and just see how dead she was, but then how she just dug deep. She dug somewhere, and how she pulled that off. I love seeing her pull that one
I mean, the
off.
results were cool, but in my opinion, I thought
it was hard to watch because they
the
were all
challenge
walking.
it was just like this very climactic music, and they're all just like walking up the stairs.
'Cause they're
and
so
I understand
tired.
they're just it's a very exhausting
Yeah.
challenge. It's like epic and exhausting, but sometimes it's almost too epic that it doesn't read well on TV.
When I found out that they had to go up and down that thing 4 times for all the different bags,
That was a
I was
lot.
like, what? Yeah, I'm surprised anybody finished it, to be honest.
I'm surprised someone didn't just fall backwards and just die on the show. Like, that's what I thought was going to happen.
It may happen one day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Somebody's gonna get past that physical exam and then get pushed too
Well,
far.
someone did die in another version of Survivor.
different country. I
was
think
like
it was
France.
a
Yeah, that was
cameraman.
suicide, wasn't it?
No, a cameraman, I think.
Oh my
Or a
god.
crew member or something.
I thought it was one of the contestants.
But Missy does have that Make-A-Wish Foundation kid to blame for her leg.
Yeah.
Which I
my
can't
gosh.
believe they didn't mention that. Like I thought Jeff was gonna be like, "You broke her leg." But you don't want to say to the kid.
I mean, you can't tell the kid that.
Did you see the way Jeff like reached over and like just grabbed that kid to give him a hug and almost knocked him out? He was all like his glasses were all like askew.
Yeah,
and
he
I
lost
was
a
like,
tooth and everything.
That was
Yeah.
okay. Maybe if out of all the interstitials, that was my favorite interstitial of the Jeff.
Is that a word?
Interstitial.
I have to
Oh,
look
whoa.
that one up.
Isn't that a movie, Interstellar?
I saw that.
So good, right?
Very good.
Very good. I
I
loved
don't like
it.
Anne Hathaway.
No, someone said it
it's
was the last
amazing.
movie you ever have to see the rest of your life. Not that great,
Oh
but
my
it was
gosh.
good.
No, it was really good. It's a thinker.
Interstitial means that
It's not quantum
coming in
physics?
between the main programming. So we had the whole finale, and the interstitials were all those moments of Jeff being live in the studio audience.
This is why you're never going to be a host, because you know all the behind-the-scenes lingo.
No, that's not behind the scenes.
You're
It's
just
a
gonna-
common
You're
vocabulary
just going to be a
word.
producer now. That's
Stop it.
Glenn, go ahead and take him off the
No, it
hosting
is
roster.
stop. But that was adorable
He would
because
die.
one,
Yeah.
the kid.
Is your mic off? Oh, perfect.
Did you
He's
shut
done.
me off?
He's no longer a host. He's out. Let's go ahead and split this screen. You're over here.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
So, Jerry,
Put my mic back on.
Oh my
We're-
god.
I'm trying to make a point.
you're off. You're off. It's just
Do I have
us
to go
now.
to that mic? I
No,
can't hear anything.
you're done. You're no longer a host. You are a producer now. So you tell Jerry and I what we need to talk about.
stop.
Jerry, go ahead.
Apparently
my
the word
mic is really off.
interstitial means between segments.
Between sex kittens? What?
Turn my mic
Oh
on.
my god, these are my favorite shows when we can't keep a straight face.
Someone turn my mic on.
You're
I
done.
flew halfway across the world.
You're done.
for
You're
this.
done. So what was the next issue with the finale? Jerry?
What did well, let's see.
I'm not on.
All right, we'll let you come back. You're back.
Are you
Let me back in, Jeremy.
Jerry, if you move to your right, I can completely cut him off camera and have you and Ryan.
Oh!
What is this ganging up on me? What happened
Why
to
are
our
you so-
final deal?
Why are you so red?
Because I get like I'm mad. I want to talk. Okay, I can hear myself
Oh,
again. Okay,
he's
good.
back. Damn
Wow.
it. Welcome back,
That
Justin.
was nerve
We're
wracking.
submitting this show for an award.
I know.
Yeah, we need to
What
win
is
one.
it that you were trying to say when you were erased?
I thought it was cute, like that for that kid. That it's like you just saw in his eyes that his dreams were coming true, and it was so adorable. And I was just like,
Getting him to say one word was like pulling teeth.
I know.
Yeah, no,
that
no.
was, I mean, they didn't need to have Jeff do the Jeff Probst talk show with the kid. Just show him being on
No.
segment or being on set.
You should never ask a kid who's already kind of nervous on television
Oh,
too many
I know,
questions. Like,
I
ask him
know.
one good one that you know he can give a good answer.
But
And
we're
then,
also jaded and bitter and LA people. Like everyone in the Midwest loves all that stuff. You know what I mean? They see
I'm the first to admit I'm totally
we're
jaded.
And we're horrible people.
I'm still an idealist.
Do you know how I knew I live in LA when I went to church and they had gluten-free the bread?
No, the Eucharist.
There was a sign that said gluten-free
Stop.
option. I swear.
Like,
I thought that was just air and rice.
it's the body of Christ.
It's supposed to be unleavened bread.
Oh my
I'm a gay
gosh.
Christian too, Josh and me.
Oh, you're a role model.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, can we go ahead? You lead with that one,
Well,
Ryan.
who also knew this was like, top news? Oh, when they come back, they're doing good around the world. I thought they were like opening schools in Africa or something. And they came back and like, we're gay Christians. What?
I know.
What does that even? Okay.
Yeah, no, Yes.
That's
And
like saying
tonight on
there's gay
Survivor.
Republicans. There's gay Republicans.
Yeah, Colton.
Like, it's not groundbreaking.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Colton, someone did tweet me and ask us to take a moment to just look back and think on Caleb and the sad, tragic, his exit.
Ugh.
Yeah, pretty horrible, and he'll be missed. He'll be missed forever.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I feel like we kind of never really
No, we talked
addressed
about
that.
it.
We talked about it,
talked. Maybe you were here that day.
That's possible.
But yeah, it's sad. So
Yeah.
sad.
Everyone was actually talking about it at the finale.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yikes.
Yeah.
But
so,
he
yeah,
seems to be doing good, from what I hear.
Colton? Well, that's good.
As good as you can, I guess, in that situation.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a little bit like, hey, gay Christians. Oh, and here in the audience, Jeff is going to interview
You
a girl
inspired
who
this
is a
person.
Christian who
Yeah.
thinks that it's nice.
Come on, that was a plant, too.
Is love. Yes, love is love.
It just reiterated to me again that there is not enough gay people on television, because obviously they weren't this big loving. I don't watch them. I'm sure they're great
They had
guys.
a
I've
lot
talked
of
to them on
PDA.
Twitter, but I'm saying I don't see them be like, oh, they look like they're so in love. Like that wasn't how I viewed them.
no, because they were
interesting.
still
Which
playing
I'm sure
Survivor.
they are,
Yeah.
right? But they're more excited to be there. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly, and everything else. But it's just like every time you watch Survivor, every season, or Amazing Race, or Big Brother, they always cast one character that's overly the top, usually gay.
Yeah.
And this is a character that is straight people sort of can relate to, because they're a character. They're funny. They're like, it's almost like a dig. That's
Well,
how I view it.
maybe Josh and I think Josh and Reed kind of represented the gay community in a very positive way.
I agree.
Yeah.
It wasn't over the top. It wasn't something that was intrusive on anybody who might be slightly homophobic. It was like a very mutually accepting
They seem
sort
like
of
normal
relationship.
guys, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of. I could see where they kind of introduced the fact that two men can be Christians and love each other and kiss on each other, and everyone is just like kind of like.
Which that's my point. It's
was
because
okay. It was
because
okay.
there's not enough of that on television,
It's
especially reality
over
TV, that everyone
flamboyant
is
and-
reacting so crazy to this when it doesn't seem that crazy, but they're acting that way because there's not really other examples of it.
Yeah, that could very well be.
I mean, just think about the gay characters the past since Survivor started, and
There's-
all of them are over the top and ridiculous.
yeah, or they just
Quote,
didn't. I don't
unquote.
think they represented the gay community very well.
Or
and
the
that-
variety in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which they don't need to, but they always cast the sort of the same people. I mean, it's hard
Yeah.
to like one person represents. I mean, God forbid you represented all straight women on the thing. I mean, that's allowed to put on your shoulders. You know what I mean? That would,
Thank you.
I forgot. Your,
Was that?
sorry, I forgot you're
no.
bisexual.
Wait, it's
read
not
that in
all straight
Playboy.
women. It's
Well, I
all
did not
two-time
say that
divorced
in
straight
Playboy.
women.
Didn't you say that in Playboy?
I did not say
You
that.
said
in
you were
Playboy.
asexual in Playboy?
Asexual,
Bi.
probably more than bisexual.
Oh, I thought you said asexual.
No, I never said anything of the sort. Let's just nip that one in the bud.
One thing about PDA was I don't want to talk about myself.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Here we
for
go.
God's
Fine.
sakes. Yes,
no,
you
I
do.
did. No, I did a 5-day trek in Chile, and I thought of you. One of the comments you've made. I thought of you while I was checking, Jerry. No.
Speaking of bisexual.
Sorry. So I'm turning red. You always say like people getting it on in Survivor is so disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
After 5 days of trekking and like not showering and like
Not shaving your
and
legs,
not
not
doing
brushing your
anything and
teeth.
just like having pack and hiking 20 kilometers a day.
Yeah.
The thought of being physical or like with anything with anybody was like the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
how long did you go without a shower?
5 days. I mean, I'm saying that's only 5 days. You got for
Yeah.
39 days.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying now. You know, like
Oh, so
where
just
it's like,
now getting
no,
up
no,
to
but I
5
can
days.
relate like more. I've done treks before, but it was not like this where I was carrying like 30 to 40 pounds on my back, trekking 20 kilometers a day, and
Oh,
just
right.
like camping every night and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, this is a microcosm of the grossness
Right.
on Survivor.
I said this in Morocco.
And
I'm
you
like,
had a crazy
who's having
experience.
sex in this country? Everyone is covered in dirt, and it's disgusting. Like, how are there so many kids running around here? Because that's the last thing on your
Yeah.
mind.
Well, I have a friend that does the Pacific Coast Trail, which goes
Oh,
all the way
yeah.
from Mexico to Canada, and he said that anytime you come up on another backpacker, that it's not necessarily a pleasant experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
But I would say on Survivor, you
Yeah.
guys are right by the water. It's always some sort of lagoon. At least they get some sort
Yeah,
of like
that's true,
rinse
compared-
off
yeah,
or whatever.
true.
You know?
Yeah,
I'd
but
still
then
bang
you-
on the beach. Why not?
Sex on the beach.
No, because
Richard Hatch was nude the whole time. Might as well
Yeah,
up
but
the
see-
ante.
All right, you're also forgetting now that not only have you not showered, you smell like mold and campfire, but you got sand in places that you don't want to stick anything anywhere with sand in it. You know what I'm saying? It's so slick.
You like it dry.
All right, next topic.
This is a Howard Stern show.
Yeah, we are going. Yeah.
Take that, Howard.
Listen, people have had sex on Survivor before.
Really? Who?
Cast members have had sex before.
Who? Did
think
Amanda and Ozzy have sex?
I heard, yeah, that's who I heard.
did hear
yes.
that.
Okay.
I also
think
heard that
maybe-
Whitney and they're on Amazing Race this
Whoa,
season.
well, no, they got out, but Whitney and the guy.
Who's
Yeah.
Whitney?
Oh, they're
on Survivor. They're on
They
Amazing
were on
Race
Amazing
this
Race. There's
season.
so much crossover now.
I don't even know who she is.
She was blonde. She was on National Country Star or something before she was
And
on
what
Survivor.
was the guy's name?
Keith.
Yeah, super good looking guy. It was
They
few
like
seasons
fell in
ago.
love on the show. She was getting divorced.
What season was that?
Russell's season. No. Russell's season?
no.
I can't
Malcolm's
remember.
season. For his first one. His first one?
Not
What?
Philippines. It was not Philipines.
Wow.
Well, now
Yeah.
wait.
It was
Take
right
away our
before that
super
then.
fan status.
Yeah, we're done. I'm sure we're gonna get yelled at.
We're gonna get ripped to shreds. You guys should
Bring it,
do
it's the
your
finale.
research.
You should know everything.
If you're gonna host something, you should know everything about everything.
No, we're hosts because we can talk good, people.
No,
not because we have great memories.
We have some opinions.
Because we're articulate.
See, this is why I'm gonna miss these next 2 months sitting here every day, guys.
We can all meet at my house.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. Pajama party.
I'm in.
Yay!
We'll do a show from there.
You guys can get me out to go party with you as long as I can crash
All right,
somewhere. 'Cause I
2015.
don't drink and drive.
Yes.
It's the holidays especially. There's a lot of people doing it. It's
This is Mother
dangerous.
Jerry
Don't
doing
drink
great.
Yeah,
and
Jerry
drive.
Mother.
I feel very strongly about
I know,
that.
it's true,
It's
yeah.
so bad in this time of the year. It's absolutely
It's
horrifying.
very true.
Yeah. So
What else stuck out?
You're
No,
a
let's
lot.
just what's
She's Miss
stuck
Down
out.
over here talking about death, drinking, driving, sand in my trap. What is going on this side of the room? Thank
my
God I'm
God.
here for comedic
What
relief.
else went on? I'm trying
Doom
to even
and
think.
gloom,
What else
people.
stuck out? What else stuck out?
Nothing else happened.
let me check my notes because I know that we missed something.
I mean, I think we hit everything.
Wicked stepmother.
No.
Jeremy plugs Natalie. Reed, wow, the wicked stepmother. Yeah.
What else?
Baylor cries. Baylor cries. Baylor cries. Like, yeah. I don't know. It was pretty anticlimactic.
Well, why doesn't everyone just rap?
Let's talk about it in
Let's rap.
general in the season as a whole.
Okay.
There were a lot of moves, big moves, all that sort of stuff. But for me, the season was not the best. And I think it was just because I felt in general there were not a lot of likable people on this cast.
Oh, I thought there were too many likable
I didn't think
people.
so. I wasn't
Everybody-
rooting for anybody a
or
lot of the time.
indifference.
Who was
It
I
was
rooting
either-
for? Like, who are you? Who's the Lisa or the Malcolm or the Denise or the from last season, the Tony or the? I wasn't rooting for anybody this entire season. Like Natalie, towards the end, I liked. I was like, she's bringing it, but I'm still like, boo, boo. I'm not like overly excited that Natalie won. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
just like I just don't feel like a passion for the contestants this season. I felt like in general it was a lot of kind of like blah as a whole, but there were good fun moves and episodes. It was a decent season, but just in general I felt the likability of the contestants was lower than what we've had the last couple seasons. That's my
I think
opinion.
it's because it's a blood versus water, to be honest with you. Because if you look at a couple or you look at a family, there's not normally two diamonds that are a couple. So one is the star and one is okay. So I think that's what happens during
Yeah.
casting. You meet Keith, you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to be great. And then you have Wes. It's just like,
Yeah.
what is he going to do?
Alec and whatever I can't even remember his brother's name. Drew.
Yeah.
And it was just, and I think too, what's different. I love the first blood versus water, and I think that one of the difference there was the game was not the couples didn't make it far, so it was like eliminate couples, eliminate couples, eliminate couples. So then you had all the one pieces of the couples playing against each other, whereas
Right.
this time it was all the couples stuck together. So when we got to the merge, there were 8 or 4 or 5 couples.
Right.
That's like instead of having 10 individual players, you're cutting it in half. So you have like 5 players compared to 10, which makes it less exciting.
It would have been better too if they would have had like some animosity between the couples, because they always everything was so great. Which that's
Well,
I think that's a big part of it. There almost should be Survivor X's. Where it's like
Or
two
what I
X's
think,
are doing
here's
that
one thing.
show.
So
Yeah.
here's one thing that I think could have been interesting too is I may or may not have tried out for the season or whatever and had some drama go down. But there was one point where there was one point where why not cast someone like me with I have a friend of 10 years. We are best friends because we're Survivor super fans, okay? So why don't you put a water couple that's two best friends that are super fans? I'm going to play with my friend, but also against my friend because I know my friend is going to backstab me eventually to win. So instead of having all the water couples having to be dating or married, put in two coworkers, put in water couples that are not going to always do everything together. John and Jacqueline, you know, there was animosity, but at the end of the day, they're going to work together.
Always.
You know, all the couples are going to work together. When you have the couples that for the first Blood versus Water, that wasn't the case because you had people that played the game
Wouldn't
already.
it just be Survivor friends versus friends?
Yeah, but I know that's the thing too. It's like
There's no blood.
I don't think the blood. No. You could have blood, but I'm saying for the water, take more risk with the water
think
couple.
this
Take
whole-
more whisks.
Risks. Sorry, but I just think this season of Blood versus Water wasn't as good as the first. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but it was also changed a lot with Exile Islands. I just think the Blood versus Water things worked. It's done. It's over.
Yeah,
you know,
they can't do
and
it
that's
again.
what we're looking at now next season. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting on the edge of my couch going, "What are they doing in season 3?"
I was too.
Am I gonna get a phone call?
I don't like this.
Even though it already filmed.
Yeah, I realized that after they said that.
It's weird they actually showed some of the cast members too, which
Yeah.
they don't normally do.
Here's the thing I
It's
think.
normally a blood dripping to the water. What do you think it is?
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, no, it was
I
like,
think-
here's what it is, and here's some of the people that are on it. Ready, set, go.
Because they didn't announce the cast even today, but they literally had like, people on there.
Faces, yeah.
faces
What
and
I
people
think worked
speaking.
well with Brains versus Brawn versus Beauty last season was, you know, you have
Was
the
that last season?
yeah, the three different categories.
Yeah, cast members.
Whereas I think the category thing kind of can work, and I think it probably will work with this collar thing.
Who won
That's
last
what
season?
everyone
I don't
said.
even-
Tony!
Okay, see,
it was so good.
I tried last night. I kept going, God, who won last
Tony.
season? Like, I seriously
Remember
could not
Cass? Chaos
No,
Cass?
I remember. I remember now, but I mean, I literally.
Woo, you loved Woo for first half of the season.
All the Survivor is now turning into a big mud puddle of things that I can't even distinguish
So
anymore.
much.
There's so many people. There's so many seasons.
Yeah.
Like, I feel even as a
season
player that it's starting to kind of work its way into its own
Well, I think it's
end.
probably fair to say that, I mean, there's players probably playing now who don't even know who you are, which is like just crazy. You know what I mean? Because like
yeah.
they're not even fans of the show and don't even know that
Yeah,
like
Keith.
how
If you saw Keith, he wouldn't know you.
had no idea.
I just had a conversation today with TV Guide. They're going to be doing an article in February in an upcoming issue
About the
before-
30th celebration.
Yeah, they're talking to past players to like find out, you know, like behind the scenes stuff,
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
some cool little tidbits.
Oh, good job, Jerry.
And so I had a whole conversation today about how strange it is to have watched this new generation of fans who, when I played the first time, were maybe not even born yet,
Yeah.
have no idea how different things are now versus how they were then.
Yeah.
You know, just in the way that we were treated and the way the public looked at us and the way the media came at us.
The ratings, because reality TV wasn't what it is now. I mean,
Think about
for instance, Katie Gallagher, she was at the party, and literally no one even knew, like, who's this? Like, no one
Right.
even knew who she was.
It's bizarre. And I
Yeah.
still, when I go out shopping, I get stopped every day when I leave my house, which is like a really weird thing. I'm still.
Because you're still you're classic. You're classic Survivor.
You're like classic Coke.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
But here's an example. Look at
Oh, God.
Baylor. Look at Baylor.
I'm classy, people.
Let's relate it to
don't
Baylor.
think she likes
Baylor
that word.
was
I don't mind it. I like
Baylor
it.
was 6 years old when you played Survivor in Australia.
Holy crapola, man. Yeah, I mean, it was different back then. You know, we didn't have social media, and the press just went to town. We did every single talk show, every single magazine.
You get
we were on
flown
the
across the country.
first class limos.
Wow.
I mean, it was like you felt like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I'm seeing more and more of people just getting treated like a number. It's like a conveyor
Yeah,
belt
it
of
is.
Survivor players. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we're done with you. Next.
Yep.
Yeah, literally
You
after
know?
they leave
Yeah.
the finale and go to that finale party, that's
it.
That's it for them.
That's
Yeah.
goodbye.
And they all think they're coming back. They're all
They're
going to be
like
famous. And it's just very
celebrities.
funny.
Here's a good topic.
Here we go.
Who do you think should come back and why? And
If
I'm
they
gonna
did
I'm gonna
anyone?
start this off.
Or
I
is it
think,
who we think, or who do we think they would bring back?
No, who do you think they should bring back and why? I'm gonna start off this conversation by saying Jeremy. I think he was cut off way too quickly, and he had a lot of play left in him, and I really liked him. And the more he started to play the game, I think he would have rivaled Natalie. Like, they had the same kind of mentality about the game.
I so don't agree at all.
No?
No, because I think that
He's got a big
he
ego.
had his points, but I think his ego and his
Gets in the
mouth
way.
would have all gotten in trouble. Again, even I thought that his speech at the very end was very like...
I thought it was going to hurt her.
I thought it was going to hurt her,
Yeah.
and I also
Yeah.
thought it
Oh,
was.
I didn't think
thought
that
it
at
was
all.
like sub-aggressive
It
and
was a
kind of
little.
just like a dish. Hello to everybody. So I think that his mouth would always get him in trouble. So I think even if he could have some sort of potential, that he's always going to get in trouble.
I know who I would bring back.
Who?
I would bring back Kelly, the blonde, who got screwed because
Who?
of her dad. No, I'm going to give her a chance. She's a huge
The
super...
one that looked like
Dale.
Jacqueline for a while.
I would like to bring back Kelly because she was a huge super fan. She got screwed because of her dad, and that sucks. Like, to wait how many ever years she waited to get on the show. Her dad, who they bring along because she needs a loved one, and then he screws her over because...
Yeah, but she wasn't really that
Whatever,
memorable.
I don't care. That's what I'm saying.
I don't even- I don't even remember
I'm thinking
her
about.
until now.
That's what I'm saying. I would like to see her get a shot at playing the game solo because
She got screwed.
She got screwed, and I just relate to the fact of, like, if you wait and it's your life dream, and then your loved one who doesn't care as much F's you over. Just because I'm thinking about the jury and I'm thinking about who I would like to see again, and no one jumps out to me. Like, no one jumps out to me.
I like Jeremy.
I like Jeremy, but still, it's like I agree with Ryan that his ego is so big that gets in the way. You
It
know,
might, but it also might.
and it's entertaining. He's great.
Yeah.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can help himself.
Yeah.
I think he's like John Rocker. He's like off the handles.
He's the only one who like stood there when everybody's like, "Can we get more rice?" Oh no,
I
he lost
agree,
the
yeah.
Flint. He was like,
Yeah.
"Good God, people,
Yeah.
you are idiots."
Right,
You know,
yeah.
he was the only one who was like the realist.
Which is
like,
fine, but you know,
this is Survivor. What is wrong with you people?
I agree, but then he also would, like, when he would talk to other people, when he was, I think he was either talking to Drew, maybe he was like, "You better get control of your boy. Get control of your boy." Like, it's very much like aggro. I'm like, you need to calm. That's not what you do. Calm down.
I liked it though.
Here's a question I have that I just
Let me
thought
tell
of.
you who I want to come back.
my God,
Yes.
I have
sorry.
opinions that
Oh
matter.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, a
wanna
question
bring-
popped in my head.
I want to bring someone that embodies the Survivor spirit. And
I know who you're gonna say.
Nadia. We gotta I would like another 20 on one of these shows.
Oh my God.
Nadia
Okay.
deserves
I will
a chance.
boycott.
How crazy is it that the twins bookended
Yeah.
this season?
I think it's poetic.
Wait, the first one
Yeah.
and the last one left.
But here's I think it just goes to show that it's, you know, you're probably in a better position when your loved one's gone. You know, like
That, and also it just proves that this is one of the hardest games on the planet to win. Like, the stars have to be lined up.
It's
there is
so
some luck.
much
There's
luck.
everything.
I don't know
Yeah. It's really
Nadia
hard.
very well. I don't feel like her personality. If Natalie were voted off first, I don't think Nadia would have been able to pull
I
it
don't.
off.
I think you probably would have said this not knowing Natalie. either,
no, because
you're biased now.
no. Because what I did see from Nadia is not. I saw like an abrasive, like not level-headed, strategic person.
I thought
She
Natalie
was
was the
only
same
there-
way.
No.
We saw her for one
Yeah,
day.
she was only on one episode. How
And-
the hell do you
but
even
No,
know?
when she
And
was
that
like,
one-
"Oh, Josh is gonna vote with me because I love gay boys," like
Well,
just
listen.
like what?
Well, listen.
Oh, she did say
well,
that.
yeah.
Well, obviously
and
they
Josh
gave,
was like, "No."
They had to give her some sound bites because she was leaving that day.
I know, but I'm
So they
asking
gave
you:
something.
is you know the 20s better? Would she have been able to do well on her own? Like, is she strategic? Is she a good player? Does she get the game?
I don't know. I said
I don't know.
You don't know until they're in that situation.
She is the one who said, "Josh, you're just like a girl." 'cause
Yeah.
you're
All
gay."
I know is if the entire cast was lined up in front of me before the season started, I
Yeah.
would have said they're never gonna win.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
I agree.
Ever.
I would have put out not
Yeah.
million,
Rubles.
one of these girls.
which is worth nothing.
Oh my god! I would have said that these girls have
Sorry,
no
Russia.
shot in winning, which is why I give Natalie credit for winning, and
I can
and she
see
did
Russia
deserve
from my
it.
house.
I would have voted for Natalie. I would have voted for Natalie in the
Oh, I would have
finals.
voted for Natalie.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even have thought twice about
Yeah.
it. She definitely deserved
She deserved
to win.
it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, was there
So-
no fan favorite either?
No, yeah, it would have been Keith. Here's my question.
I don't know.
That popped
There was
in my
no
head.
check or nothing. Another check.
If you think if John would have gotten to the final with how great he thought he played the game, do you think John would have had a shot at winning? I don't think he would have. I
I think
feel
he
like,
had a better chance than Jacqueline,
Yes.
just because he's a dude.
Yes.
And nobody could see what we saw, which was Jacqueline actually being the one who makes all the decisions in that
and being
relationship.
intuitive.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
John literally was clueless about the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Well, and that's what I feel like. I feel like he was this huge threat, but I feel like that people didn't respect his game, even though he and Jacqueline, if they could have, they made move after move after move after move in the middle. they just weren't viewed as the I don't know, they just weren't viewed as these strategic great players.
But they were viewed as having an ego, and he was running the show and everything. But let's talk about John Rocker really quick. I thought it was interesting when Jeff said the people you aligned with from the beginning was a gay guy and African American. I thought that was
He said black dude.
He did say black dude.
He did say black dude. Yeah.
Well, it's also I don't know.
I thought it was very interesting.
I thought it was interesting.
Too. I was waiting to hear something from him to see John Rocker have a little bit of a personality.
But he didn't.
No, is that
right? He's done so much steroids. It's just hard to speak.
I just think that he had so many opportunities to redeem himself, but he had no desire to.
Did they show a shot of Julie the whole time? I don't think they did. Yeah, good.
All I saw was Julie's boobs. Her
she was in a yellow dress too, right?
Her boobs when she was sitting behind John, and I remember I kept I was trying to listen to John, and I kept I couldn't not look. They're so big. I just don't understand how you could live a life with boobs that big. They just get in the way.
I think she needs another chance too.
Oh.
I will not watch that season.
Ryan, you are so funny. Were they at the party?
Yes.
Was everybody at your party on Tuesday?
The entire cast was there.
Son of a
bitch.
Oh, Jerry.
Everyone had a good time. The fans were loving it.
Okay,
it was brought to you by Dove.
Was there a bunch of fans there too? Crazy super
I'm not going.
It was really fun.
With their notebooks.
Oh yeah,
notebooks,
so pictures. Sign my nub because Survivor fans have 2 hairs and 1 tooth.
Oh my god!
Literally, the people who go to these events, as you know, are a little crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually thinking about selling my blue bikini. I'm thinking about trying to see what I can get for that.
Don't resort to one of those people.
I don't. If the price is right, I'm ready to part with the blue
pretend
bikini.
We're not on air. Give it to him to sell, so it's not you. So you look like this. Oh, Jerri Manthey is selling her dirty Stand in the Trap bikini on eBay. Buy my jewelry.
I think your hat would be what would sell for the most.
I can't keep enough jewelry in stock. It's selling like crazy.
You just got to keep doing that.
I know.
Yeah. I think your hat would sell for the most.
I think we need some little jewelry on this side of the table.
Remember, I wanted a ring.
For Christmas,
I wanted a ring.
I'm wearing this, but I always put my jewelry, my hair, and everything on my Instagram.
I wanted a ring that had engraved the premiere date of Survivor. There you go. That's my wish.
Season 30?
No, season 1, the premiere date, when my life changed forever.
Can you please give me that date?
I did a while last season, but I'll give it to you again.
Is everybody excited about the new buffs? Have all of
I want to get one.
Why did I not get one of those? Why?
Can I tell you? Go to the finale.
Well, they wouldn't let us go.
My favorite buff that I ever had was the villains buff.
Oh,
and
really?
I lost it when I was traveling in Machu Picchu, and I went back to try and find it, and I'm so mad that they don't sell it anymore. And
I'm it's on eBay or something.
I love that villain buff.
We gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. All right, well, thanks guys so much for tuning in. Justin, where can everybody find you till we see you again?
Justin F. Walter on Twitter and Instagram.
All right.
Right.
All my stuff's on RyanAllenCarrillo.com.
2 R's, 2 L's. And you can find me and all my good stuff going on at Jerri Manthey on Twitter and jewelrybyjerry.com. Buy your Christmas gifts now. There's still time for me to get it in the mail for Christmas.
Yeah.
AfterBuzz got our Twitter
handles wrong. We will be back. We will be back for no collar, white collar, blue collar,
popped collar. Now we're gonna
go to YouTube. Give us your comments. We won't see you until February.
And we won't read them. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Pop your collar later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.